Okay, I told you I was with the university since 2000, and we've gone through a lot of implementations ourselves. We're a small IT shop, so that means I was involved with hundreds of implementations at our university. And actually, we kind of built all the IT infrastructure in the university. I was part of that as well. I mean, we couldn't even change passwords on the web, and that's where we came in and started building all that up, so I kind of have experience when it comes to implementations. Up there, I just wanted to show you, you probably never heard of this product called Reportal on there, but that's what we used for reporting just about 3 years ago. And before that, we actually had Business Objects, which probably a lot of people do know about, and Elution colleague also, they partner with Business Objects and their ODS client to sell you a whole reporting solution. Well, as I said, we're very small, so when we bought Business Objects, I wasn't part of that purchase and everything, but we are so small that it was just taking us more time to set up Business Objects, deploy reports. We had to build in Crystal reports. Our security had to be set up, so it would take our reporting person just too much time to work with it. And at our university, we only have one reporting person, and I only have one DBA. And even though I have the title of director, I still do all the web stuff. I'm writing queries. So it's just a title. And yeah, and I'm sure everybody else is in that same position as well. But since they said 2 months ago we started with Argos, well, that's not right. We actually started with Argos last year, about March. And in our reporting system before, we had just these 5, if you look over there on Reportal, we're kind of giving them reports and everything. They're just static reports, no dashboards. And then just in this year, we've just been able not only to migrate all our reports, but bring in reports to all of our other departments, which they were excited about also. Let me see if I can switch it with this thing. Oh, perfect. As I said, we got multiple legacy systems. Our DBA didn't like the Illusion Business Object stuff, so he's like, well, let me give you Excel, and you can have views, and you're just going to grab data, so financial aid was doing that. Then we have, we're just going to build it in Access, and they can grab data that way. And then suddenly, we had a new person report, I can do SSIS, which is SQLs, to send out reports, and they would do that as well, and everywhere else. And we even had VB scripting, was sending all our files to Blackboard and everywhere else. So it was just all over the place. Anybody who, well, I know this language, I'm just going to do it this way. So we're just all mixed up on this. Let me see. There we go. That's just a view of Reportal. And for those of you that don't know Reportal, I mean, all it was is it can actually publish Crystal reports on the web. So we changed to that. You know, years ago we changed to it, so we didn't have to cover the licenses with Business Objects on there. And it just, like I said, that's just a Crystal report. Now that we have Argos, we moved to what are dashboards on one side. And what was fantastic to the user was, before with Business Objects or Crystal reports, you pick your parameters and, okay, produce that report right there, that paper report. And what happens? Well, I got to rerun it again. Well, let me go do my parameters again. I'm going to have to close it. I'm going to select new parameters, everything else. Well, you know, Evisions came over and said, oh, no, you can run the parameters anytime on the fly and just produce the data. Will keep on switching on you. So now you can have that report, and it's much quicker. I mean, it doesn't become a report now. Now it's a screen. And I don't know what you use in Banner, but I'm sure it's like forms, they're called, instead of screens that they call over there in Kali. But what we managed to do is, I'm sure our colleague schools understand that the licenses for each colleague session is very expensive. And we had people from athletics and other places that they did not, all they did was actually just view data. They didn't do any transactional, they didn't do any transactions. So, you know, with Business Objects, it also cost me a lot of money to try to move that to reports and everything. With the Reportal project, it's a Crystal report. It didn't look nice to give them, hey, I'm going to take away your client, and now I'm going to give you this. But with Argos now, we were able to take away all those licenses and actually make our departments even happier, because before they would go into different screens to try to pull out each individual piece of data. Now they're able just to go to one screen and just pull out all of the data. And this was actually made possible. Somebody that you're going to He's going to come up right after me, but J.D. Hysler is down there for me from Jacksonville University. Just this one person was able to convert just about 300 data blocks we have now, which can have multiple reports in them. In a matter of less than a year, we're able to get that done. And anytime I have to pull out data as well, I'm doing it very quickly and just using Argos. So fantastic product in that way. Now, I was going to say, this is not only colleague. We also had times where we need to pull out data from other places, and we were using as well. I know how to write VB script, and I know how to write C#, and I was using that to get information. Well, now we're able to even connect up. If you use Microsoft Active Directory, we're even able to hook up with Argos to Microsoft Active Directory directly to the database, pull out group objects, the security, everything else with Argos. So any kind of database that you can probably connect to with Argos. I don't want to say that, it's almost any, because if you got a Unidata colleague client here, I believe you cannot connect up to Unidata directly. But we have found that we're able to connect to many sources and bring them into Argos. And in this year, we have brought in, all of our scripts, everything, our Excel queries, access all into Argos. And that's where I want to continue developing, because it looks nice and it works well. Let me see. And this is what I was telling you before. I just wanted to, when I wanted with business objects, I said, well, let me get the VP. I want to use a dashboard, and I want it now. Well, that's going to cost you several thousand a year and a one-time several thousand fee. Well, I don't want those reports too bad. Just email them to me or something. That's what we had to do before. And the same thing with our losing colleague screens. They would report us. Well, we had to pay for our Crystal Report Viewer stuff on there as well. Now with Argos, I couldn't believe when they told me, hey, you're just going to pay this and you're going to get unlimited licenses. You can use them anytime you want. And it uses Java. So it it doesn't require much of an installation. And actually, they announced just about 2 days ago, they got a report viewer, which now is just going to run on your browser. So any browser you have, you just choose it. And we're not going to have to send our techs out to install any kind of plugin or anything for the people that are just going to view reports. Okay. And I'm going to bring up JD, but just one second. I just wanted to talk about the last thing, the installation. I told you I was doing hundreds of implementations on there. Well, I'm a person that likes to eat lunch at 12 o'clock, and I remember when we were implementing Argos, Aaron from Argos, from Evisions, actually called me up at 11:50 and said, well, let's go get this installed so you guys are in production and everything. And I was like, no, I don't really want to do that. And so it's 11:51 around there. Well, let's just do this. Okay, I'll stay after this. So I can tell you, not even 5 minutes, we log into the server via WebEx. He comes in, installs the product, configures it to our production database, and he says, you're all done. It was 11:55, 11:56. I even had time for a bathroom break. I was excited. And the product worked fantastic. As soon as they brought it up, I'm already querying with that. So that's just something to keep in mind. With that, I'm actually going to bring you over here with our actual expert, our only reporting person at Jacksonville University that actually goes into Argos and does all the reports except for myself, and that produces the reports for every single department on campus with this product, and that has developed almost 300 data blocks in less than a year from our colleague SQL database. So if you all want, this is J.D. Hysler. I don't know if you want to give him an applause or something. Is that what we're supposed to do normally? Oh, okay, great.
Hello, everyone. Basically, I'm just going to show you a couple of the screens of some of the forms that we've done. I've worked in quite a few different reporting structures. I've used Cognos. I've gone to the smaller end of Access. And one of the things that I like about Argos is the fact that we can put things together quickly, but we can also access all the different systems. One of the challenges that I have been facing at Jacksonville University is trying to get the data to all the right people and then for them to understand it. The first data block that I have up here right now is we put together with colleague pulling out different data elements that are important to each individual department. And one of the things that I found when I started talking to them is that when I was talking to the registrar's office, they knew their terminology real well. Whereas when I was talking to financial aid, they understood their terminology but didn't understand what some of the values meant in the other departments. So one of the things that I'm currently building and is still growing is a data dictionary where we have a different tab for each department. And I'm able to actually drill right into the colleague database and pull up their live data. So I'm not trying to maintain that data dictionary. One of the things that we do is when they update the information in colleague, it automatically updates this Argos system. So the fact that we're able to log into not only colleague, but all our other SQL stuff makes things run a lot smoother for us. Another thing that we were getting into a lot of is we had a large number of users, like in our athletics department and in the IT department, where they needed information from a lot of different screens. And while it stored the information properly and made it easier for maintaining it, it sometimes took a while to pull all the information they needed together on a single individual. So one of the things that we've been working on is building individual screens for individual departments where they can grab all the data they want in one place. And we can pull the information on both as the employees and the students or people who are both. The athletics department is our big one, and that has helped us quite a bit in the number of user licenses that we need. Another area that we're starting to work with quite a bit is doing analysis work. Again, pulling the information from multiple different systems. We had some of the data for our academic interventions that stored in DataTel, and then we had other things that we had built in-house. Now we're able to actually combine that data together into one place so that not only are we pulling up the information that's in colleague, but we can also pull up the information that are in our individual screens that we've built within colleague or individual applications that we have built outside of colleague and try to combine them together. One of the things that Argos is real nice about is the ability to pull the information and see it on the screen, but also do your grafting with it. And the one nice thing that I have found that I've liked is sometimes some of our users are very visual and they want to look at things on the screen, where I have a couple users that if you can't print it to a report, they don't want to see it. So the fact that we can actually create banded reports that can dump out to a printer, or you can look at it visually and pull up the information for an individual or for a group, has helped me with getting one product together or one screen or one area together to help multiple people use the same data source. Nice screen also about these dashboards is you can dump most of this directly to Excel. Or actually it's to CSV, but very similar. And that has helped a number of our people who are reluctant to use Argos to really enjoy the fact that they can filter and do the data themselves once we set up the actual dashboards for them. Again, one of the combined screens, this right here in our student academic records, we can pull information up on classes, but we can do it as a individual screen that they can dump multiple pieces of data to Excel, or we can have a banded report that will dump easily to the printer and use it for their books. And if any of y'all have ever had to use data that you build banded reports, or what I call pretty reports, trying to get that information to a usable format such as Excel can be a nightmare sometimes. Now, one of the things that we've also done at Jacksonville University is in addition to bring the data to the screen, is scheduling actual extracts. We have a number of third-party systems that we have to supply data to, and we had it in a variety of different formats. So one of the things that we've done is schedule reports that during the night are extracts that we'll actually dump out to individual files for those systems and schedule them. Some of them are weekly, some of them are daily. We've also set up email lists. We've set up reports that are going out and dealing with letters that are going out to people, letting them know that they are eligible now for benefits. We have nightly reports that are going out to all our faculty that are giving them a list of all the courses that we have scheduled for the next semester and where we're at with filling them up. We've touched on it, other people have touched on it. The ability to pull data from multiple systems and then combine them together has been real nice for us. We are pulling data from both most of our stuff's in SQL, but we do have a couple things that actually come from Oracle and some of our other third-party systems that we can access. And basically, for us, the rapid development has helped us out quite a bit because it takes a while to do the custom screens in Colleague, but it also allows us to pull all that data together. And we've had a good run so far. I've enjoyed it. My users have been real receptive to using it. So that's pretty much our presentation at this moment. Yep. Appreciate it.